See, Stevie P, this is the test that we're doing. Who has pushed subscribe and notifications on? So if ever these times that we decide to come in 10 minutes early, they would know, So we shall see who's going to join us very soon. But as always, we don't need more time to prepare. Are you ready?
Let's go.
All right, here we go. Whoever's late to the party, late to the party. Put those notifications on. Here we go.
You are listening to the Milan Weekly Podcast, the English voice of Radio Rossonera and Milan fans all over the world.
Rafael Leao produces a moment of utter magic.
Che sì, ed è gol!
Teo Hernandez al gol! Teo Hernandez, ancora lui, una meraviglia! Ibrahimovic! Zlatan Ibrahimovic, fuori classe assoluto!
Cari amici sportivi, welcome yet to another edition of Milan Weekly Podcast, episode 218 to be exact. Here we talk everything Milan, the Salutate la Capolista Milan, and Portatemi all'ospedale Milan. And well, we're not professionals.
Nor do we pretend to be.
Guys, it's Vinny T, Stevie P, always here faithfully every single Monday. I hope, Stevie, that my audio is coming in good. President has been looking at the tweaks, making sure. I hope he doesn't stream it to me at this time here. But, Steve, this week, it's been a kind of a nice week for the Rossoneri fans. But us, we got hit with a nice winter storm today. Snow, rain, all the different kind of stuff. But, where's our minds right now? To tomorrow's game, what happened on Saturday. But how about you? Great weekend?
Nice weekend. I spent Friday in Toronto just for a team dinner, and back in MTL quickly on the morning of Saturday. So missed all this snow and stuff, and we move on.
There we go. And yes, even Frank has mentioned it. Let's start off with our housekeeping stuff, and to people that have not seen it all over social media for Jason DeTulio. Steve, I'm going to let you describe because you know him a lot better than me, and bring up his GoFundMe and battling the fight for his life in reality.
Yeah. So Jason is a local soccer legend. Especially in the East End, playing club soccer here in the eastern side of the island of Montreal. His resume for himself, playing soccer, playing for the local team, and so on. And now he's going through a personal battle where he's fighting for his life, and he needs everybody's help and prayers, and some generous donations so that he can win this fight, and he will win this fight. And his catchphrase is La Grinta, and his GoFundMe page is collecting money. So friends, families. If you can give any amount counts to help Jason and his family get through this terrible time and make him win the biggest match of his life.
Definitely. So you guys will see it all over. Would it be on Facebook, Twitter, a GoFundMe page? If you're just looking for Jason DeTulio, you will find it there. And speaking of donations, as I've mentioned in the comments, 13 years in a row. It's that time of year again. It's the Toy and Food Drive, Milan Weekly Podcast, Milan Club Montreal, with the guys from SouthSide for the Welcome Hall mission, collecting the toys, collecting the non-perishable goods, and collecting money once again this year, Steve, for our Walmart run that we like to do every single year, and try to buy as much stuff as possible. Thank you to my cousin Johnny. My friend Josie being first the ones to donate, and we're doing this on the 19th. Hopefully We get a bunch of us go help out. Hopefully, it's not a day like today, Steve, with this kind of snow,
No.
and that we all go warm up at Chocharo's for 2:30 and watch the Milan Napoli game. So if you guys want to share, want to contribute, every penny counts. It is in the comments over there, and Stevie P still has not decided if we do get to this $3,500 goal. But in the end, what Steve is going to do is not the most important thing here. Is what we're able to give back to the community, right, Steve?
Yeah, it's giving back to the community, especially in this time of need, going through this global pandemic. Everybody is hard struck, and some of us, like myself, yourself, luckily have supporting families, roof on top of their heads, food to eat. We take that for granted sometimes. So it's a little thing that the Milan Weekly podcast can do to help out the guys from SouthSide Toy and Food Drive, collect money, collect non-perishable food items, toys for the kids. Anything that we can give is greatly appreciated. So we'll change all the links in our bios to the GoFundMe for the Toy and Food Drive, so that you guys can donate. I do owe everybody an episode from Jello Pool. I will do it. Like I said last week, if you didn't hear it, I will do it. I will honor that. Whether we get to 3,500 or not, I will honor that. I will be in a pool of Jello. I just, again, didn't feel like it was the right time to do it during a global pandemic. But hopefully this summer, I don't care what happens this summer. It's gonna happen.
There we go. So again, shared in the comments there if you guys want to take a look at that. And Stevie P, I came by today and got my special delivery. And well, what they do on YouTube, unpackaging?
Yeah, the unpackaging.
So, I think
very smart, very smart. I just wore mine, but you're doing the right thing. So while Vinny's unpacking, this is from Milan Club World. Paolo and the team at Milan Club World, put up this shirt for us on their website. The design is from the fabulous Sunny. Guys, this is just for us to represent Milan Weekly Podcast. Guys, go on the Milan Club World site. It's not only for a Milan Weekly Podcast, but all Milan fan clubs that are together with the Milan Club World sell their gear on that site. Milan Club Philly, Toronto, London, Buenos Aires, and so on and so forth, guys. There's tons of clubs, great shirts. I have many. I have also some of Paulo's own personal gear. So there's Latan 500 that I'm wearing tonight. Guys, this is what it is. Not expensive. It's stuff that promos us, helps the clubs. So again,
are we making a special edition again? We're making with the tag on the inside, and
it's the tag on the inside. Yeah,
that's one. Ours. Yeah, so this one still has the tag. Where these are like the proof ones.
This is just demo.
Just to see. Beautiful. All right, and I put that link as well, Milan Club World. But check them out, guys. They got great designs, great T-shirts on those, and. No, I'm not Michael Cole from WWE. People already for Facebook, Frank saying I'm like a Michael Cole because I grew some facial hair. But let's take a look at Steve. You interviewed this guy, maybe a couple of months ago. Omar Mamani, always with the great cartoons, and we did call this episode, for him for Simon. What a great cartoon! He's got his own style, and the Viking, great stuff, right, on this one here.
I think Omar strikes again. Omar strikes again with this one. So dedicated graphic to Simon Kajar. Injury, out for the season. We'll see him next year. Get stronger. Get through this negative portion of your season there, Simon, and we want you stronger and faster and better next year.
And how about this one, Steve, that he popped up?
Yeah, so Omar is great because he grabs every situation and turns it into this graphic storytelling art. And this is just another one. So Messias and his
where he was
his career path, where he was delivering I think it was moving around the furniture and so many odd jobs. Then gets back into the game, and goes from the lower levels of Italy, and now he's playing. And I think soon he's made me eat my words, but I think he'll overpass Salchicha Maker as the starting right wing.
All right, yeah. So that's one way to. And by the way, Gio, our buddy in California, just made the donation, Steve, a live donation to the GoFundMe. Thank you, Gio. You're always number one, and you know that Steve is very excited about his upcoming Roberto Baccio ugly Christmas shirt. So he thanks you there in advance. I can't wait for you to see you with that, Stevie P. So thanks, Gio. Real appreciate it. To the game we go, Steve. So Saturday morning, gather up the guys, having some coffee. Kim from Australia was having beers. It was okay. It was 11 o'clock at night for it. It was midnight. We were looking at the starting lineup, and we were taking a look to go. Okay, we were talking about the Pellegrini starting. I was like, oh, nobody really had a problem with this kind of selection. How about you at first glance? Did you raise an eyebrow, or were you like, no, I think this is a good decision, at least to try the rotation before he got hurt 7 minutes in there?
I'm gonna stick with my guns and say that I was okay with the rotation. He needed to get some minutes. Pellegrini up front, look, Salernitana is not very good. Genoa, who he played before Salernitana, is not very good. So whatever hype train we want to get on right now, I think we just need to manage our expectations. Milan did what they had to do. Won, kept a clean sheet, and now can focus on Tuesday.
Did you? Okay, we'll get into the injury talk, whatever. But we even said, like, I needed Salad-Maker to be a dark horse. Actually scored. Kessie, probably man of the match because he was all over the place. A lot of missed chances. Steve, where did you stand from the whole conversation especially on Twitter, on social media, where you had a lot of people that were not happy? Oh, we should have been 4-5-0, and we have to bury these chances. And then you have people just going like, hey, we got the clean sheet, we got the 3 points, right? Where did you stand? Or do people just like to nitpick?
No, it's not nitpicking. I think games like this, other teams pad their goal differential, and Milan traditionally does not. We do not take advantage of teams that are lesser informed than us, especially Salernitana and Genoa. You see, I'm not a stats guy, but you see 22 shots, you see only 8 on target. That's not a very good ratio. From those 8 on target, you scored 2. Simple math says that you're not in the law of averages to score more than 2 goals, right? So Salernitana is a Serie B team, whether we like it or not. This year, more than any other year, we were noticing a huge difference, and it's passing the 3 relegation spots. I think it goes even a little bit 2 places higher than the relegation spots. Those teams are significantly they have significantly less quality than the rest of the Serie A, and it shows. And look, they do come up with surprise wins, and you know what? There's always that deep pit in your stomach, especially with Milan, where once we play one of these teams, we don't get a result. A la Fiorentina, where Fiorentina put 4 behind us and then lost to Empoli.
It just, like, for me, not. Was it worrisome to see all these chances missed? I would probably say no. And then, when Pellegrini got hurt, Steve, we replaced him with Krunic, right? We didn't, like, I know Leao went up front and then we took him out. At one point we had no strikers and we still managed to do, like you said, 3 points and a clean sheet. I liked at least to see, like, Tomori and Romagnoli having to get that chemistry, because that's going to be our pairing, from now on. Florenzi had a good game, I found.
Vince, you could have had a good game against Salernitana.
Well, thank you, Steve.
And Genoa. Let's face it, guys. This is we're looking at things completely the wrong way. You could have it went well for Milan, and again, it's just the lack of quality on the Salernitana side. gave Pioli the moves that he could make. He could not have made a wrong move in this game. It's just it wasn't. They weren't in the game from the beginning. Possession and stuff like that. Those stats sometimes don't tell the truth about a game. In this game here, they tell the truth. In the Genoa game, they told the truth. They were just, in the Genoa game, besides 10 minutes of the home team with a new coach, uh, having a little bit of possession and a little bit of pressure, the rest of the game was just terrible.
And
And again, same thing to piggyback again.
Mhm.
Sassuolo gave us a little bit of a beating. We took it
we took it on the chin on that
we
one.
took it on the chin from Sassuolo, and then they come in this week, Sassuolo, and we'll talk about it after, and they just managed to scrape up a draw. So that's the Serie A for you. Week in, week out, you don't know what you're gonna get. But for Milan, right, these two games, for me, we said it last week. I wanted wins, and we got the wins, and I'm happy with that.
So, I want to talk about, people like to mention, again, injuries in this team. And I know you've mentioned it multiple times, Steve. If I keep on getting sick, I'm not going to blame my doctor. A lot of guys are, you're raising questions to, now Leao is not going to be part, possibly even not even against Napoli. Tomorrow looks like it might be Krunic. And can I give a chapeau to Krunic? Because you know what? Every time we ask him to come on, he does his job. And I have nothing bad to say about the Krunic. But, Pellegrini, è fatta di carte. That one I can't really blame. He said he wanted minutes. And he's been hurt, Steve, I think since he stepped on to be a professional soccer
No,
player.
since his move away from Serie A to Monaco, it's been injury after injury after injury, and Milan purchased him injured.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken. So again, there's something that's not going well with what he's doing or the training that's being provided to him. But I'm just fed up of hearing Milan Lab, Milan Lab, Milan Lab, when
So-
it can't always be that. It can't always be that excuse.
And we did say Milan Lab hasn't been around, I think, in like 15, 20 years. But what do you say, Steve, to the people to go, okay, so obviously it's, the player fatigue and all that stuff. So what makes a team have much more injuries, according to you, have more injuries than the other team? Like, you take an Inter, or you take an Inter versus, like, look at the stats that, how many games that Milan have without any players. Does it come down to training? Does it come down to, and we're going to try to get Derek on. He's a fellow Milan Club Montreal member, Patreon member, and this is what he does for a living. And he likes to say, other than il polpaccio, Steve, il crociato, il polpaccio. But what would be your opinion on what makes a team that plays 3 games a week, like everybody else? What makes a team not get as injured as we are? Are we just...
There's no answer to that. It's impossible to tell you what that answer is. If I knew, I would be a very rich man, and with all due respect, I wouldn't be on Milan Weekly podcast.
No offense.
Uh,
Is it like, people want to talk about the training, they want to talk about like a person being stronger than the other one? Look at, I know Ibra's 40, but again, another interview this week said he goes, I feel pain every single day. So, and then you got, guys that are, is it become 3 games a week? No. And when did we stop, Steve? Other than what, the 2 months? Because after COVID, the first COVID, we went straight into Serie A at the beginning of the season after what, 4 weeks, 5 weeks?
yeah. It's just been too much wear and tear, and at a certain point, the things break down. But you could even look at the way the person, how he knows his body, right? Just watching the All or Nothing for Juve Merda, you see that Cristiano Ronaldo knows his body, right? He takes care of himself. He uses his body as a shrine. I'm not saying that everybody's like that, but at a certain age, maybe with a bit of maturity, and I saw Derek post something like that too, young players are going to start learning to know their body. There's a famous saying in hockey, there's a difference between playing hurt, playing with pain, or playing injured.
That's true, but Do you think we'll ever see the days? And I'm not trying to say that the guys back in the day were tougher than today's guys, but you think of the what is it, Beckenbauer that played the finals, the semifinals against Italy, and he had broken his
Collarbone or
the call,
shoulder?
and he played midfield with his arm taped to his, like, to me that made me
No.
it like those kind of days. It's just like now it's more precaution, and Leao was a precautionary thing, and in the end they were right.
These guys are investments for the team. They want to make sure that their investment plays as long as possible and doesn't decrease in value. So they're not going to make him play with a broken collarbone.
Exactly. So we shall see what happens now. Tomorrow's game, Steve. If we need to believe what we've been reading, so doesn't Leao for sure not playing. You had posted something that maybe even Theo might not be playing.
Theo, they said that he had a fever and was practicing alone today. So we'll see if he can play or not. Look, right now, Milan has to field the best 11 that they can. Uh, but it's a gamble now. It's how far do you want to go? Uh, if
Well,
I'm Milan, I don't like doing this. I'm not a scoreboard watcher, but I think tomorrow they have to keep a close eye on what's happening in the other game. Not relay down stuff, but and not affect their performance against Liverpool. But at least try to manage some minutes if things are completely out of our control and we cannot qualify. Maybe give a chance to some of the young players to get some minutes in the Champions League and get their feet wet. Uh, I don't know what Liverpool's gonna do. There
I
was
saw a
one.
post. I don't know if you saw, like, I don't know if it was an official saying he's just going to play, because he's complaining about the schedule of December, and then people are saying that tomorrow he's going to play like 11 nobodies. To no disrespect to them. Never
I
mind.
don't know who he's gonna play. I saw one that his medical staff's gonna kill him if he doesn't rotate the players. But yeah, he's complaining about the schedule in December too, and the EPL's December schedule is one of the most jam packed because they're smart enough to take advantage of everybody being home and stuck to their TVs, unlike Serie A. And
No, aren't we
again,
playing? Aren't we playing on Boxing Day this
well,
year?
maybe we'll know if it doesn't get canceled. If they don't move it for some sorry excuse of marketing knowledge. But yeah, Klopp is one who I really support and I agree with him that they just play way too much uh, in a very condensed amount of time. And again, for Milan, throw everything at them. You have nothing to lose.
Yeah,
You have only everything to gain if the results in the other game go our way. Hey, you've qualified for the Champions League and you've surpassed my expectations for sure. If not, you can go out with your head held high. You got experience in the Champions League, which was what we were looking for, and now our concentration is on the Campeonato and those first four positions again to keep continuity in the Champions League and fix our depth problem because that's still a problem.
because we got Liverpool tomorrow. We got Udinese on Saturday. In Udinese, we'll talk about it. Let's pull it up right now and look at the. Hold on, let me get rid of this here. Steve, can I start? Okay, it's on the other page, so we'll go with the other page. I caught a little bit of Sampdoria, Lazio. Lazio, I think they needed to win. Steve, I don't know if you caught a bit of this one. If anything you wanted to comment on.
Lazio woke up, but they played a Sampdoria team that's in way big trouble.
And where the president
Ferrero's
getting
arrested.
arrested
Yeah,
for
so
bankruptcy.
I don't know what he's doing. He's crazy, that guy. If it's Lotito 1 and Ferrero 2, I would not be surprised for craziest president that we have so far in Serie A. But you know, again, we see a Lazio team that, yeah, sure, they rebound against Sampdoria. Ciro Immobile comes in, saves the day. Ciro Immobile is hurt again.
And
So they start all over. And SMS taking a red card. I don't agree with the red card. I thought the ref was just being someone who wanted to show that he was in control of the game, which he obviously wasn't. And Lazio takes a stupid goal, and Strakosha screws up my Fantacalcio because he's my second keeper and doesn't get a clean sheet.
It seems that every single week. And Liban, I'm sorry. Does your Fantacalcio go good any week, Steve?
No, I'm actually in last place. I'm very bad. I lost to Jan, fellow admit, fellow Milan Club Montreal member. And Jan's team is worse than Milan. He has more injured players than starting players, and I still lost to him.
So let's take it to. You want to talk about Juve? You want to talk? What do you want to talk about, Steve?
Yeah. So Sassuolo is one of those. Sassuolo is one of those teams. Again, you never know what you're gonna get each week. And after Milan, they lay an egg against Spezia. They were actually down 2-0 in this game and came back. Raspadori with a doppietta, making them get that 1 point. But very different from the Sassuolo we saw against Milan. So
and this is sometimes the beauty of Serie A, where we always like to use the Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde for Lazio, but then you have a team like this, and that's why even Salernitana to away, you're like, it's the shittiest team in Serie A. Yeah, but you can't take these teams because the ball is round, even against Udinese. And we'll talk about Udinese, that they have maybe not have been the best of teams all year, but you can't fuck around with a team like Udinese, especially after midweek. But Steve, Juventus, poor Shevchenko, have they scored a goal since Shevchenko took over?
No, they don't have a goal. I don't even think they have a win. And just Shevchenko, they were showing his next couple of games.
Doesn't look
very, very difficult time to bring in a new coach and leave it to Genoa to bring in a brand new coach. Yes, he has international experience with Ukraine, but it's a different ball game, and he understands Serie A. I hope he understands what he was getting in terms of players at Genoa, but Genoa is just really bad. And everybody, I'm going to give credit. Imagine, and we'll talk about it in one of the other games. I'll give credit to Cuadrado because on his goal he said, "We've been practicing corner kicks to the first post." I hit my corner kick to the first post, and Genoa's keeper just did the La Papara de Papare for the goal of the corner kick. 2 in the same week. We'll talk about the other idiot who scored the corner kick.
Yes, and our friend decided to send us a question on Patreon after months that he hasn't been. We're going to get to those. Then, Steve, these are today's results. I don't know if you wanted to touch base on these ones. Cagliari can't seem to win a game. Torino.
Cagliari sucks. Cagliari really, really sucks. Mazzari sucks. They're making a huge mistake in continuing with Mazzari. It's just not going to work. Their team should not be in last place or anywhere near last place.
Yeah, no, you're right.
I don't know why you're slide showing the whole
thing. I'm trying to find the other. The other slide. Oh, I think I missed the slide. Keep on talking. I'm gonna figure it out here.
Torino got themselves a point, but I think Torino is going to be disappointed from that point because I think they could have picked up 3 against Cagliari. They just did what Torino does best, right? Again, Belotti's injured, so they have no other striker. People are going to say, yeah, Steve, but they have Simone Zaza. Guys, Simone Zaza is not a striker. I don't think he's ever been a striker. He wobbled onto a soccer pitch one day and got signed by Juve, and then after that, it was all downhill, right? So,
I get you. I'm coming up, Steve.
We'll see the standings after, guys. The bottom teams are just not that good. They're gonna steal some points, and they're gonna be teams that are going to make a difference in what happens in the campionato, but a lesser difference than the other years, that's for sure.
I know it's only the second game on this one, Steve. My goodness, does fucking Roma suck?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. I was watching this, and we'll get to Napoli after, but I couldn't comprehend what was going on. I'm like, is this because Inter is so great and Hakan is the new number 10 of the future, but Roma couldn't get anything going?
No,
What
no.
was it? 3-0 after what? 25 minutes, 30 minutes?
Yeah. I think this one's on Mourinho. I don't know what he was trying to do. I understand that he was missing some players, but he was parking the bus, but so passively that Inter was able to have so much possession and really do what they want in the final third. That's the difference that Inter shows over maybe someone like Milan, where in the final third they have many more options than Milan has, or they make it look better than Milan does in the final third. But Roma was just honestly at 3-0 I changed channel. I was like, if
I,
this is the match that I'm going to watch, I'd rather watch some college football because I'm not going to waste my time with this. And they were not getting back into that game. There was no substitution that would change the game. There's no goal that would change the game. Zaniolo once again, underwhelming, flopping, being a baby. I understand he gets fouled a lot, but uh, against a good team, you're not going to get those calls if you don't show up in big games like that, especially when your team is undermanned as you were. They needed him to come up big.
definitely. And how about the other corner goal from a corner kick, Steve, from Hakan van Basten?
That's a papara from the keeper. That's not intended at all.
But he
Whoever
celebrated
thinks,
like he intended it.
oh yeah, of course he will. So he's going to take everything right now. He's living the dream. And this is basically the same person that after game one, we were all getting messages. Yeah, you guys, you miss Hakan, you miss Hakan, you miss Hakan. After that first game, we didn't hear from any Inter fan up until a couple of weeks ago. Actually, we saw Inter fans where he was the worst player on the pitch and wanted to get rid of him completely.
5 goals and 4 assists in 16 games, which is still good stats. Let's not take it away from him, but
it's great stats. But a lot of the assists are because he takes every free kick, and Dzeko and everybody gets the head on it, and you pad your stats like that. He doesn't do anything great. He's surrounded by a good supporting staff that I guess sweep up and clean up a lot of his mistakes. But a lot of his passes are negative. A lot of his passes are neutral. There's nothing special from Hakan. I really don't care. The art for me, it's passé. I don't even get involved in those things. I don't care what he does. I don't care if he scores 10 goals. I don't care if he scores no goals. I really don't care about Hakan.
Well, while you're already a little pumped up, let me just ask you, Francis, as a Patreon question. Have you guys been impressed by the way Hakan has been playing for the last 4 weeks with Inter? Do you feel that having Hakan instead of Diaz could have made Milan legit Scudetto contenders?
Absolutely not. That's just pumping tires. It's the usual stuff that Interisti do. Every time something goes right, they're right on there, ready to throw it in your face. Hakan is absolutely garbage. He will have a good maybe end of the year, maybe a couple.
He's gonna
of
disappear
games.
for like a month, 6 weeks,
Yeah,
and
and then
he's
he'll
gonna come back.
disappear, and no one's gonna talk about him. And magically, he's not that he's not good. He's resting. He's resting for the final push. I don't find him an intelligent player. And again, it's not because he left Milan and went to Inter. For me, this was what my opinion was before. I was willing to give him a chance. I gave him a
praise him
chance.
when we needed to praise
I
him.
gave him a chance. When he played well, he played well. But he's too inconsistent of a player. He's not a number 10. It's fine that he's wearing number 20 because that's the type of player. He's the 20th man on your roster, pretty much.
Taking it over to the game that made us go atop of the tables, Stevie P. Napoli, Atalanta, and I'm not saying surprised. I think Atalanta just had an inch over Napoli. Napoli, yes, missing Osimhen, all the reason, but the Serie A is 38 weeks, right? And Atalanta deserved to win this game, according to me. Steve, I don't know if you were able to watch as well this one.
Yeah, I think Napoli was okay. I think just, again, this is a typical Spalletti game. Spalletti started to overthink the game and had...
Who did he ask for advice, Steve? The
I don't
Costello.
know. I don't know which constellation he looked at and made that switch to take out Mertens and bring on Petagna and thought that that was going to help him win the game. But again, it's really a lot of the games that I watch, and sometimes it does happen to Milan too.
Mhm.
The coaches, I think that they're overthinking things, especially Napoli. I get you have Europa League, but you need to concentrate on the Campionato. You're in first place. These are the games that you cannot let slip away. uh, Against an Atalanta that has been surging, and this is the annoying part of Atalanta, is because Gasperini gets the front of the credit, but I think that their players are getting healthy again, and they're starting to play the brand of football that made them get noticed, and
And
they're winning games like this.
and these are the kind of games that maybe people 6 7 weeks ago wouldn't even think of Atalanta, and these are the kind of weeks that remind you. And we're gonna put up the table soon. Atalanta ain't going anywhere. Even to a certain point, Juventus, they'll be battling for top four. Those teams are always going to go back there. So even though you're 10 points ahead, and let's remember, guys, we went the first half of the season with not a loss, if I'm not mistaken, ties, and we still managed to scrape fourth place in the last game of the season. So it still gives us first place for now. But as we said, we're 16 games in. It's a long season. Bologna Fiorentina, Steve. Bologna fought back, and it was 3-1. Another Vlahovic penalty on this one. Just caught the extended highlight on this one here. But Bologna, they're there. Even Bologna, they're another ball busting team.
Yeah, Bologna has always been that. Again, we don't know which Bologna is going to come out.
Mm.
It's again, they're very inconsistent. We talked about Hakan being the most inconsistent player in Serie A. I think Bologna is the most inconsistent team. We don't know. I think they even beat Lazio in terms of inconsistency. At least when Lazio sucks, they suck for a long period of time. Bologna kind of stays in that we suck and then we don't suck as bad. So
Okay.
Fiorentina, look, the loss against Empoli was a head scratcher. This is what they do. They need to beat teams like Bologna to stay up there. If we touch back on Milan, guys,
Yeah.
I want to make my public service announcement to all Milanista, Milan Twitter, anybody who follows the red and black. If, knock on wood, God, Buddha, whatever religious or scientific super being you worship, we make it and we stop at Christmas time at the top of the table. I don't want to fucking hear the stupid winter
Come.
champion bullshit. The
Thank
winter
you.
champion does not exist. It's something that's made up by teams like Roma and Lazio, uh, you know, Napoli, Atalanta, teams that are not used to winning Scudetto. They made up this stupid winter champion bullshit
Tell
that
them,
does
Steve.
not exist. It's just halfway in the season, and halfway in the season means nothing because you have another half of a season to play.
Thank you. Thank you
So
very much.
stop with the winter champion, stop with the capolista, stop with the stupidity because it means absolutely nothing until the end of the year where you see this table that we put up and Milan is still on top with the most amount of points in the last column. That's all that it means.
So, and I just wanted to point out, Steve, the Verona Venezia game. Holy
Was
shit!
fantastic.
Wow.
It was a fantastic example of how not to play. I'm telling you, it was. Verona was terrible.
How did you like? You get a red card. You're up 3-0, and you get score 4 in the second half. It just
Yeah, but that's
wow. It's
how
entertaining.
bad that's how bad Venezia is, and that's how bad Verona was in the first half. Their third goal was Papara of the Year. It won Papara of the Year. Defender and goalkeeper were absolutely not on the same page, and the Venezia, his last name is Henri. I'm telling you guys, it was not Thierry Henry, but his last name was Henri, and he scored a goal, stealing it off two guys who were just not on the same page. Uh, but Venezia, again, that's just not what to do and how to play with a 3-goal lead, especially taking a card in a game that should be out of reach for Verona, and it should equal 3 points for Venezia. This was terrible. And apparently, Venezia Roma, I'm saying apparently, but I don't want to say something that's wrong to make everybody on Twitter go crazy. But Venezia Verona is some kind of derby. I don't know if it's the derby of the V,
Oh
but
yeah, yeah.
it's some kind of derby. I don't know. I didn't have a chance to look it up, but especially in a derby.
So, and with that, that was our closing segment of this week in Serie A with Stevie P and Vinny T. One saying thoughts on Simeone for Milan, leaving the bad blood aside.
No,
Stevie
it's
P,
not even. It's not even bad blood. The one I just don't think. Again, he's not consistent.
he's changed team every single year, even though he
Yeah,
supposedly plays well every single year. But how do you change teams every single year?
with Verona now, he has been scoring goals, but I find he scores them in bunches. Uh, Look, if I have to be really honest, if you would put Pellegrini and Simeone together, maybe I would roll the dice on Simeone. But I'm looking more long term. I don't think he's a long term solution to what we need to do to at the striker position. So for me, it would be a no. Mike, he asked this question 2 times, so I hope we can answer it. How confident are you making the UEFA Champions League round of 16 tomorrow? I have a feeling Milan is going to make it. That's Scarogna 101. Corny to you, Mike, and your Juventino Malocchio.
Mhm.
All jokes aside, Mike, it's a good question. I went into the Champions League with some realistic expectations just because of the type of team that I've been watching for the past 2 years. Look, I wanted them to play well. I wanted them to give themselves a chance to qualify. And will I be disappointed if they don't make it? Yeah, I'll be disappointed
Of
just
course.
because I really like to see Milan, continue in the Champions League, and it would be a huge surprise. Do I think they deserve to make it? If I erase the whole stupidity with Atletico Madrid and the penalty at the last minute, I think Milan's Champions League was decided the 2 games against Porto, and unfortunately, those were the worst 2 games, and I do not think they deserve to make it. But again, will I be sad if they make it? Absolutely not.
And Steve, on a side note, what do you think? What do you think Allegri and Morata were telling each other when he subbed them off there? Supposedly, no, 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 fare casino, stai facendo casino, and they were yelling at each other. I can't wait for Liotto Gold to do
It's a mess at
like a
Juve,
voiceover
Mikey.
and pretend that
Mikey
in
had
the
a
end.
question for us, but Mikey, I have a question for you. Are you ready to admit that there's a humongous that you beat Genoa, so you can sleep comfortably for another week? But can you admit in the comments here, Mikey, that there's a humongous problem at Juve? That's my question to you.
We'll wait for his response. And Mikey looks like a good guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll see what he says. Stevie P, let's take the first question from Patreon. From Fabio. Good day, fellas. Firstly, I just wanted to say thank you to Vinny for waking up early to do the Patreon special with the guys this past weekend. It's one of my highlights before any Milan game is being able to chat up with great people to get me all hyped up. It was 5 o'clock in the morning for Fabio too because he was in California with Gio. I'm happy Milan took care of business this past Saturday, but can we all agree that our list of needs for the transfer window needs to be right wing, striker, center back, and one more midfielder? Our injuries keep growing, and we need to have a roster of 22 quality players to have any hopes of staying on top of all season. Does the losing of Kajar move center back to the top to our needs now, or is it still get me a fucking right wing? You know what? I'm going to ask you because we spoke about this on Saturday morning. Do you go for a replacement or a substitute? Do you go for the band-aid solution? Because he's not coming back. He's not coming back for the rest of the year, correct?
Right now in the winter mercato, it's the toughest mercato. It depends what you're looking at in terms of cost. If the non-band-aid solution is there, sure, why not? If the band-aid solution is there right now, take the band-aid solution right now. Let's get to the end of the season, and let's see how we can properly plan our mercato in the summer so that we can address our positions of concern and depth. You know, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. You know, that was a fantastic video. I'm gonna give Jesse again praise from Milan Club Boston, because how did he put that together? That was just fantastic. If you guys haven't seen it, or we posted on the Instagram, we posted it everywhere we could. But it's true. Like, I can't believe how many times I've said it, and he was able to capture it. But like, it's an obvious position of weakness, the right wing. So it should have been addressed a long time ago. Now you get yourself in a spot where 2 weeks ago you said, we're not going to spend any money. Our team is competitive. We are where we are. You lost a center back. You have no substitute striker for your 40-year-old striker. You're still missing a right wing, and you have tons of injuries.
But the center back has moved up in priority, Steve.
Yes and no.
So,
Yes
like,
and
if Tomori gets hurt, what are we gonna do? Gabby and Romagnoli, put Kalulu back in there.
Yeah, I think people like, a player like Kalulu can save you that transfer. He plays on the right. He's good on the right. I'm not saying
he's a natural center back, is he not?
Exactly. He comes.
Correct us in the comments, guys. But I believe
he comes with someone who's played, across the back line. We took a chance on Tomori. Again, am I saying let's gamble, the possibly finishing top spot in the Scudetto? No. But are you going to spend money for something that's not going to help you? Are we going to do another Mandzukic type of style signing? I'm not interested in that. Get him some minutes, and those minutes, if they're at center back, well, whoever's partnering up with him is going to need to pick up the slack. And we're in a situation where we just have way too many injured players right now. Rebic gone for the year. No, gone for the calendar year. Should be back in 2022. Yeah. Giroud, the same thing. Leao's going to miss 2 games. We have Kajar gone for the year completely. We'll see you next summer. They're mounting up, and we saw Sonny slide there. We're going to lose 2 players who are not injured in January to the African Nations Cup.
Our heart and soul of our midfield.
At the worst possible time. So there's only so many places you can put Krunic to fill in the gaps. He can't be at 2 places at once. And obviously, guys, I'm going to be straightforward. I really like Krunic in the role that he plays. He's not going to be that difference maker and get us those points that will get us to our ultimate goal. My ultimate goal at the beginning of the year, I want to win. I'm not happy with 4th place. I'm not happy with 2nd place. Like last year, we finished 2nd place last year. I'm looking to finish 1st. Realistically, it's going to be hard, guys. I don't think we'll be able to make it this year. But if results continue to go our way and there is a luck factor. I hear everybody say, oh, Milan's lucky, the bounces are going your way. It's a part of your journey on the Scudetto, whether you like it or not.
Just the way bounces used to go against us, sometimes bounces go with you. Kim, too, I know you were mentioning, should we look at firing the medical staff? I just don't understand how we have so many injuries. But Kim, you know what? I'm going to keep your question that when we talk to Derek, because and you can shoot him off a message in the WhatsApp, the brand new Patreon WhatsApp, and it's been not bad. Tommy has used a lot of English, so we'll go from over there. But definitely, Kim, when we're gonna have a special, he will come on and we'll talk about all these injuries. Paulie H saying, good evening, Vinny and Steve. How impressed have you been with our new 2 additions on the right-hand side, Florenzi and Messias? Messias is particularly impressive. He's the only one, he said, only at the club a hot minute, and he already looks better than salad dressing. Share your expert thoughts, please. Yeah, our expert thoughts. Just the way, I'm not going to be two-faced on this one. When we were asked about Messias, before he started scoring. I said I haven't seen enough of him to say he sucks, and we kind of determined that the right wing curse was what people were disappointed. Now I'm going to say the exact same thing. He's been good, but I need to see this. It's not because you did two, 3 games, like, playing good and you scored. I need to see, like, is this $2.4 million loan, is it worth it? Is he going to step up in the absence of other people? But Florenzi, I will put Macias more above Florenzi. And Florenzi, for me, is just doing his job. I don't see, and like you said, that Salernitana, even I would have been able to play a good game. But how about your takes, Steve, on both players?
They're both not good enough.
Macias still hasn't given you enough?
No. These are not the players that you're going to win the Champions League. They're not the players that you're going to win Scudettos with. It's just it's the rule of thumb, right? They would not have fell in your lap if they were a hot commodity that everybody wanted to increase their Scudetto chances.
But what if he becomes like, let's say if he starts scoring a goal every 2 games, like, what would you need? At what point do you go, okay, this was worth the investment? Like, if he goes to pick up these 3 points, like, let's forget the
I think so.
Champions League.
I think in terms of investment, he's already repaid himself.
That's
Just
true.
the goal against Atletico Madrid. If you're looking at it in terms of investment, I think he's also paid for him. I think it gives us 3 million if you get a win in Champions League. So he paid his loan, possibly even paid his salary. Look, I don't want to seem like someone who's not sympathetic to his story. It's a fantastic story. I'm thinking of this team. I've let go of players that have left this team and gone on and won. Players that have come to this team and have made a difference. We were signing guys like Jankulovski, guys, to strengthen our team. Now we're signing guys like Macias.
It is what it is.
It's a drop in quality. It's not what I'm seeing. We talked about it today in the Milan club members chat where, they're saying, well, all our players are getting injured. Yeah, but how come the players on Chelsea, Real Madrid, Liverpool are not getting hurt? They play 3 times a week. Guys, they have 2 starting 11s. We barely have 1. And even at the start of the season, guys, again, being very blunt and honest with everybody, we were missing key elements to be a legit, hands down Scudetto contender. We're sitting in first place now, which is great. But now all the things start coming up. The injuries start coming up. So far, we hit 2 of the bad things that could happen in a span of 2 weeks. We hit 2 bad results against 2 very beatable teams, and the injury bug continues to kill our team. The last bad thing that could happen is a complete landslide in results, which, again, I'm famous. I live by this. This is for me, it's another storm that we have to deal with, and we have to contain it for the longest amount of time possible.
We shall see where it leads us, but always straight to the point, no bullshit, Stevie P. And who do we have next? Gillis. Hey, guys, just one question. Should Milan go all out and fight to win versus Liverpool and hope for a Porto Atletico draw or Atletico win, or just focus on the Scudetto? The team is thin again with injuries, and while some help will come in January, not that much. I worry more Champions League will cost them the Scudetto, and that means more to me. Forza Milan. I know we kind of spoke about this the last time, Steve, and I'm going to sing it again. I'm going to say it again. I'm not going to concentrate on this. I'm not going to concentrate. Just give it your all on any competition. Just helps your team grow. It helps you. Like, yes, in the perfect world, Steve, we would have a rotating players and we could do all this, but I don't want to go for this trophy, or this trophy is not more important to me. But if you had a choice, what would you? Obviously, more realistically, will be Scudetto. We ain't winning no Champions League.
No, I would want to concentrate on the Scudetto, but there's prize money to be won in Champions League as you go on, right? Even making it to the round of 16, that pot for the Italian teams and how they divide the money gets split in the amount of teams that make it out of the group stage to the round of 16. But if I would have to concentrate on one and you would I'd have to put my hand on fire, I would really concentrate on Serie A this year. I don't think Champions League is realistic, even if we do. And it might, again, if we pass and then we go into the round of 16 and you make a magical run, I don't know with which players because it seems like they're all getting injured. But realistically, I would say the Scudetto race would be what I would like to concentrate on. But we can't forget Europa League. That's going to be something else that they're going to have to think about. So
You wanted to answer that question? You put that comment on, Steve?
yeah. So it's to 3K. We have to can't forget that Salchicha Maker is a fullback by trade. It's the 3K. Salchicha Maker, when he came to this team, they said to him, "You're going to play where we're going to tell you to play." Because fullback in the Belgian league and fullback in Serie A is absolutely not the same thing. He's someone who, for his effort and what he does defensively, I cannot say a negative thing about it. Defensively and what
He
he
had
wants
come
to
on
do.
to replace Calabria at one point. No, when he was injured.
Yeah, and again, he has to be that jolly that we can put in on the right hand side. But they've obviously gone past him being a right back because they've purchased Florenzi, they've purchased Kalulu. They have people to rotate there. Now he has to concentrate on being that right wing. Where before he signed this extension was actually doing pretty well. He was just doing his job. Then the signing of his extension, I don't know what happened, if there was like ink in that pen that went into his veins or he felt the money buzz. He decided that he was going to try things that he's not supposed to be doing and cannot do.
But he was playing fantastic with the national team. That's what made
But the
me.
national team is not Milan. I don't care about
No,
Belgium.
I know.
No
I'm saying
one cares about Belgium.
So you
No one
can.
cares about Belgium. But for Milan, he's not doing what he needs to do. And that's be clinical and be responsible in the final third.
Well, it was nice to see him at least score yesterday. Who do we have here? We have David. Good evening, gentlemen. Sorry I couldn't make it to the pregame chat as I took to Fort to chat with my fellow Milanista. Anyways, one question for you guys. Do we sign Kessie at any cost? 9, 10, I think he's proven his worth and feel a lot better knowing he's commanding the midfield. With inflation, we must accept that we will have to eventually start paying the big bucks.
That's not on Milan to do that. I disagree with that.
I'm not paying 9,
whose
10
question is that? Whose question?
David from Montreal.
David's playing too much FIFA. That's what he's doing. In FIFA, Dave, you can pay people whatever you want. Unfortunately, soccer now is a business. And it's not on Milan that we cannot pay him $10 million. Let's make that very, very clear. Milan needs to abide by this financial fair play, and Elliot, with all due respect, who own us, want to run the team the way they run their businesses, where they become profitable.
And lower the debt, right?
Yes, and lower the debt.
How did we lower the debt in the COVID year?
Right now, Milan cannot afford to pay him that type of money. There's a couple of teams that can. In Serie A, there was only one that could pay him 10 million. And in the end, David, not even that one could pay him 10 million because they fudged their books. Juve was the only team. They came in, Cristiano Ronaldo, we're going to give him all kinds of money. We're not going to pay the guys from Fiat. We're going to take the bonus from Fiat. All those poor people that work at Fiat, we're not going to give you a bonus this year, but we're going to sign Cristiano Ronaldo. Everybody from Fiat, see Cristiano Ronaldo, see senza soldi, see. And Ronaldo put it in your ass. There's a problem in Serie A, David. It's very simple. It's a simple math solution. If the league does not do its job in helping you bring in money, you cannot spend money.
And the only team that pays people 8 to 9 to all these extraordinary,
Even
who's that
even
team that they're
Ibra,
questioning the
Ibra,
books?
Ibra gets that 7 million
Mm.
because
And how long did we have to negotiate that
yeah,
7 million?
he gets that
Right.
because of what he's done, the mental aspect that he gives to Milan and the team. But besides that, guys, Milan really can't pay 7 million for Ibra for a 40-year-old.
Exactly. That's very well put, and we'll blame City on that one there, not the marketing, everything. But no, I wouldn't sign him at any cost. Gio saying, keep up the great work, guys. I'm glad we collected the 6 points, but these injuries are starting to worry me. Besides being healthy now, how many players do we need in January to get our hands? How many players do we need this January to get our hands on the Scudetto? P.S. Happy birthday, Capitano Calabria. How many players? Give me a whole, all depending on these injuries, but I think I'm going to go back to what we discussed before. If we have to get one, I'm going to have to go with a center back on that one there. I'm
Yeah,
just
but
too afraid of
that's not
the.
his question. One is not enough to
How
get
many
in
players
trouble.
do we need?
One is not enough. Oh, you're getting in trouble. Your camera is auto-focusing again.
Oh, shit.
One is not enough, Gio. Realistically, we need 3.
Right
Again,
center back, right wing,
realistically. I'm
striker.
saying realistically. I'm saying ideally we need 3. Ideally we need 4. We need a striker. We need a right fucking wing. We need a center back now, band-aid or non-band-aid. And we need someone to play trequartista when Brahim Diaz goes on a slump.
Steve, let me ask you. Kim brought it up and I completely forgot. Caldara, would you call him back? He's having a good
Fuck
season.
no. He's fucking
No?
terrible. He's terrible at Venezia. This is minestra riscaldata, and this is not the band-aid solution that I want. Again, knowing our luck, Caldera is our center back signing for January, and I'm sorry to jinx him, he gets hurt.
So you would leave him there?
No. Again, someone in the comments really, shit, who put it up there? I forgot, but it was like it should be the Pellegrini signing should be a lessons learned. No more,
Injury prone.
injured players. Look, we even signed a goalie when Mike Magnan was hurt. We signed Mirante injured because they were worried about Tatarusano. And we still haven't seen Mirante, right? So,
he did his job.
Again,
He's on the bench.
realistically, it's ideally it's 4. Realistically, someone put it there. I think Jamie put it there. I think we could get away with 2. I think we need a striker depending on when Giroud comes back, and it's not the Giroud, Pellegrini, Zlatan. The problem is that if something were to happen to Zlatan and Giroud is not back, we have no one else. So you have to find that. You have to find that cover, and the striker. Again, it may be band-aid for the time being, but this again has to be another lessons learned that you have to start coming. You have to start coming to the table in the mercatos with solutions that are not band-aid. The Macia signing, band-aid. The Florenzi signing, band-aid. This is not going to work for a very, very long time.
Who else do we have here? And Vincenzo Mancini. Hey, everyone. Lots of questions about injuries. I'm going to continue. We're currently sitting first, 1 point behind Inter and 2 behind Napoli. 2 ahead, you mean? These 2 teams have come to nowhere close to the type of injury list that Milan has accrued through the first half of the season. Do you think our point gap would be significantly larger if our medical tables were not so preoccupied by our starters? If so, what do you think a realistic gap would be? So he's saying that if we, our injured players were like, the rotation players and our starting lineup, most of our starting lineup would be there. Do you think there would be a big difference, Steve?
No.
I don't think so either. I just think that we got the great mentality to win the games that the way we won them. We had a couple of hiccups, which is completely normal. 2 losses after 16 games with this kind of team. I can't complain about that. But maybe a point or 2, Steve, difference in gap. But I don't see like really. Oh my God, what a big difference.
I think the gap is exactly what we saw. The loss against Fiorentina and the loss against Sassuolo. Those are 6 points that if you add them to what we have now, we have that much of a gap.
Exactly. So no, I think it will be about the same thing on those ones. And very quickly, do we have anything on? Yes, on Twitter machine, Mahmoud. Thank you for doing the interview with the Egyptian fan club. You're very welcome. There is a very big fan base in Egypt. It's amazing how all Milanistas all around the globe share the same passion and thoughts. I'm optimistic about tomorrow's game. At this point, what is a good season for Milan? Steve, I know what you're gonna say. I want a Scudetto. Well, okay. What is considered? Expect. What would you consider a good season?
Again, because I don't like this top 4 stuff where you're aiming for top 4, I would like Milan to win the Scudetto. It's twofold. One, I don't want Inter to have 20 Scudettos. That's because I don't believe in anybody else that could win the Scudetto. I don't see Napoli, maybe Atalanta a little bit, a little scary. But for Milan, if I'm looking at the actual table right now with the business cap on, I'm looking at we'll make it to the Champions League and we'll reinforce again. If I'm looking at it with a fan cap on, I want to win the Scudetto. And
to Davies' question in the comments is like, yeah, signing players, but a la Magna at $1.5 million a year, not these 9 to 10 million that what Kessie wants. And yeah, Steve, I'm going to agree with you. I think Elliott and Co, if they see that we lowered once again the debt, more partnerships, and they still stay top 4 and doing Champions League next year, I think to them would be considered a good season. Fuji's and funny. I think the problem with paying Kessie too much, it'll force us to pay everyone else too much as well. That's a good point too, because Benes, Tio, all these guys, right? So, and yes, the sport has evolved. Yes, it is a business. But you can listen to the Seedorfs and who else came out and said about these kids, all this extra money, but it's the way the world is. And if you give a kid like Tio, 6-7 million a year, okay, that's great, but what are you going to do for the other players, and what is he going to make in 5 years from now, right? So
this is gonna be a problem until Serie A fixes their problem.
And do you believe, just before we finish off with our brioches and indigestions, Steve, Scaroni came out today and said that the plan for the new stadium, Milan-Inter, will be out before Christmas. Do you put any...
I'll believe it when I see it.
Same here. Sorry, Presidente. Steve, do you have any indigestions this week? Any brioches? Anything that comes to mind?
You could go first. I'm not. I don't have really that much.
For me, the indigestion is how I'm even trying to I had something in my mind. As you guys see, we don't really prepare that much, but for indigestions, I'm gonna have to go seeing the Juve fans winning 2-0 against Genoa, and pretending that not all of them, because there's some good, and just seeing the comments online and the articles, seeming that there's no more problems at Juventus. Everything is fine. Everything is okay. Everything is good. Where no, you just beat Genoa. It's not, you haven't accomplished anything big. It's just and Milan fans have known to do that as well. Remember, Steve, we go like a bad skid and we want to win game and say, okay, we're back on track. So sometimes keep your feet on the ground. So that's gonna be my indigestion. But at this point, Juve fans, you got to celebrate every little win, because it's not looking too good. The Bundesliga ref in Bayern versus Dortmund is corrupt and still got to ref the game.
Yeah, that's pretty screwed up. Thanks, that was pretty screwed up. Forgot about that. My indigestion is Roma laying a big fat egg against Inter, crying about having injured players. Hello, you're crying to the wrong people, because Milan has double the injured players that you have. And Napoli too. My indigestions with Napoli. I think that they're making excuses as well. We know they don't have Oshiman and this and that. It's just the excuse, the continued excuses from teams like Napoli and Roma. When things don't go well, it's always someone else's fault. Uh, just not rubbing me the wrong way. It's rubbing me the wrong way these past
Well,
couple of days, just because of the resurgence of Inter and Atalanta.
at least that's what we say when we're not doing well, we just blame ourselves. Like we fucking suck, and we need to do this. We
Yeah,
don't blame
there's
the other
nothing
teams.
against. We're not going to blame injuries for what happened against Fiorentina and Sassuolo. We just really sucked against both of those two teams.
And for Brioshki, Steve, I don't know if I speak for the both of us, but it's got to be sausage maker not scoring for the longest time, and he wanted to go do that right away. Didn't want to celebrate everything for Kajara, as we lovably call him here. Everybody with the T-shirt, and even Inter. Hey, you know what? We got to give les chapeaux
Yeah.
when we need to, for them to actually tweet out and say, "We'll be waiting for you to applaud you for everything that you've done." So I think the soccer community reaching out for Kajar, that was a really great, good feel moment. Un bello brioche for this week.
Yeah, nice. My Brioshki goes to the Serie A thriller games, the Venezia game, the Napoli Atalanta game, just scoring goals. Inter to put 3 behind Roma. You know, guys, this league has its problems. It's not perfect. It's far from perfect, but the entertainment value is there. And I just wish that the old dinosaurs at Serie A would maybe once in a while, expand their thought process outside of the boot, the lovely boot that we call the motherland of Italy, and explore different ways to market this game outside of Italy, so that Americans, Canadians, South Americans, Australians, other European countries watch Serie A and see it for the entertainment value that it is. Because I think Serie A, as much as this is a feel good moment, it's also an indigestion. Serie A is missing the boat completely with this.
Because
Completely.
people still think about that your nonnos league and
Yeah.
the 1-0 games and all that stuff. And to Nathan's comment that he learned about a scandal and in Germany, no, it's only in Italy there's scandals and match fixing. These things don't happen around the world, and that's perfect way that you're talking about marketing. Because every time somebody talks about scandals, match fixing, Italy always comes up, and nobody ever talks about the other countries. Nobody's going to talk about Argentina. Nobody's going to talk about Mexico. Anyways, it's mind-boggling, and I think we're going to be repeating this for years to come. Stevie P, do you have anything else to add? Guys, remember, in the comments, the GoFundMe for the Toin Food Drive. Take a look as well while you're on the site for Jason DeTulio, battling for his life right now. We have the new T-shirt. Let me show it again, Steve. Let me show it again. Tell me if I'm holding it good. Am I holding it bad?
Yeah, perfect.
All right, and just take a look at the comments. We got tomorrow's game, Liverpool. Stevie and I will be back on next Monday. We have Udinese on Saturday. Maybe I'll see you. Saturday, we're playing in the morning again, or are we playing? Let me have a look. I don't know if we'll be together for this game here. They are playing at 2:45, so maybe I'll see you at Chocharo's. Presidente, make an event. I will be there Saturday, 2:45. Anything that you'd like to add, Steve?
Yeah, guys, it's important. Support content guys like us. Like, subscribe to our channels. Please, it's very important. Turn on those notifications. Tell your friends. Join us live. You don't have to be Milanese. We have Mike the Juventina here. We want people from all different fan bases around Serie A to chime in. I know it is Milan centric, but the more fans we have from the different clubs in Italy, the funner the conversation will be. And thank you to everybody who chimed in tonight and who's gonna watch the video. Please, guys, very important. Another thing too, I want to shout out. We will do. I will put up with the help of Sunny. A lot of the pages where we post the Milan Weekly podcast weekly on on Mondays. We usually post it on Tuesday on Facebook. A lot of Facebook pages, so many that I posted on where I can't name. Some all Italian, and they write back to me and they're happy that we're doing English content, and they can practice their English. Local pages that have supported us from the beginning. So thank you to those Facebook pages. And if anybody has other pages where we're not posting, let me know, and I'll add it to my favorite pages
Totally.
and start posting them on Tuesday.
What do you say to Fuji's? Let's just put it this way. I will discuss with Steve, but if it is, it's like a 15-minute thing. We're just going to talk about the game, no graphics, no nothing. We shall see.
Yeah.
Everybody,
We'll see.
right now, let's just concentrate on Champions League. We'll think back of Serie A this coming Saturday against Le Zebrette. Stevie P, Vinny T, always here faithfully every single week, and always ovunque e sempre.
Forza Milan!
Ciao, guys.